Rutgers won the Pinstripe Bowl. Big win. Big
And
win for the Pickle League.
they ran out of beer at Yankee Stadium.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's sacrilegious.
They weren't ready
I feel
for
like
Rutgers
that's
in
the
Miami.
one place, the one sporting event stadium where like you can never run out of beer. At a baseball stadium, why the hell? Why else would you go unless you're there to drink
We
beer?
had that debate. Remember why
one of
MLB
those
is fun to
sports.
watch? All right, pre-show shenanigans. I am running on 3 hours of sleep right now, and I'm about to tell everybody why I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. If you can't tell by my voice just sounding hoarse and just me being tired, we had a game yesterday on Wednesday. We said this in the last episode, and that's why this episode is being delayed by one day. It's coming out on Friday instead of our typical Thursday episode. So first things first, all this is about to relate to travel, all right, and planes, which is a reoccurring topic on the Waterboy podcast, is planes. We don't know why that's the case, but on the way to Washington, which is where we were, I had to fly commercial instead of our team because we had to send a little, a specialist group early. We had to do some scouting, right? And
some Connor Stallions work.
Yeah, I was half asleep on the plane. And the captain comes over the intercom. He goes, "Is anybody missing a dog? There's just a dog with us in the cockpit right now. If anybody is missing a puppy, it is in the cockpit with us." Might be the best intercom I've ever had on an airplane in my life.
Well, who was missing their puppy?
I don't know. I don't know if it was claimed or not. I did not hear another word about it since. But if I was me and I was the captain,
was just appeared out of nowhere on a plane.
I'm assuming it was in the front.
Mystery dog. It was like something's up here.
I didn't realize this was an episode of Scooby Doo, but
which airline was this on?
It was on Southwest.
Okay, all right.
Adds up a little bit, right? Yeah, adds up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that somebody bought that dog a plane ticket. Like Rufus gets row 38C.
So the way Southwest works though is it's like by group, so it's like you can sit anywhere on the plane, first come first serve based on your group.
Do dogs get priority boarding? I'd assume so.
Well, right? I think you had to they probably bought him a ticket to be in like a group, could sit anywhere on the plane, and it just took a seat from somebody.
I recently saw like coming across the TikTok, I see like Reddit like stories.
Yeah.
And one of them's just like airplane unethical travel tips. And the first is just like, yeah, a lot of the times just when you walk in, just be on your phone, act like you're really busy, and just sit down in the open first class seat. There's like a 10% chance that it'll work, but sometimes you might be able to get away with it. And then he followed up with, but 90% of the time, you'll have to do the walk of shame back to your seat in row 36.
You're at the back of the plane next to the bathroom.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, with a little shrimp scampi chef back there too while you're at it. That's how Southwest does it.
I wonder if they had an airplane of just all the collective people that have had airplane moments over like the last 5 years, how that would work. You have like the guy with the Burger
King. Scampi guy should be on the no-fly list. So
well, no,
he should not be allowed in the air.
We have a airplane of the no-fly list airplane, like no-go people. Is what I'm saying. We just put them all on one airplane. So we got the shrimp scampi guy. We got the Burger King hat guy, if you know who I'm talking about. We've got the
that is not real woman.
Want to shake your hand woman, or the want to shake your hand guy. That this is not real woman.
We have the wife of the athlete whose kids are spilling all over the fucking place.
I think Odell would be on this plane too, right? He got kicked off a plane a couple years ago because he like fell asleep or like was super drunk.
I'm not
something.
Sure, to be honest.
There was something going on with that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of athletes who are probably barred from commercial travel.
Most likely.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that would not be a great plane. But that would not be a fun time.
Yeah, no.
I think out of all of those, though, there is a chance that the kid spilling the food in the aisle is the most annoying. There's still a chance. Like,
no, most annoying for sure.
Just because that's for example, Burger King guy, you can tape his mouth shut. In theory, you can solve the
You
problem,
can
and there's
shake
no
that guy's
remnants.
hand too.
Can. Now, I'm not sure if you can like
Don't know what will
solve the
happen.
"this is not real" woman. I don't know how you'll solve that. I guess you can muzzle her too. But when it comes to spilling food in the aisle, I know
So what do
with
we
the
do
age
about
of those kids, they're going to be stepping on the
what do
goldfish in the aisle, and then it's uncleanable.
what do you do
Then
about
it's there
Shrimp
forever.
Scampi guy though?
Oh,
I don't think
jail.
they're stopping
Prison.
him. I don't think they're
Yeah,
stopping him.
that one's bad. No, that one's bad. Anything that leaves a
Just real
lingering
quick,
smell, we're
I'm gonna
done here.
real quick. I'm not gonna talk about the story of
Shrimp
why
Scampi, the worst.
my voice. I'm gonna say that for next episode because that's a whole different thing. That's gonna take a whole pre-show. But real quick, if you're on the airplane with Shrimp Scampi guy, if you're the U.S. Air Marshal on that flight, how are you not doing anything when you see him walking up with the car battery?
Well, he's throwing up and gagging into his little like throw up pig, so he's unable to do anything. Yeah,
It's just the
no,
wildest.
there's nothing you
Oh
can do
man.
there. But yeah, no, I don't think I've. And then you got little Rufus in the front seat running around the cockpit too in that plane, huh?
You talking
But
about
yeah,
the puppy, the dog that we
yeah,
had
that
going in the
too.
cockpit?
Dogs on there. Well, there's definitely gonna be multiple dogs on that shit fest. There might be
You've seen
snakes
like
on there too.
you've seen like the live action Scooby Doo, right? Where like they're in the grandma outfit on the airplane.
Yes. Yeah.
That's on there. That's a questionable yes, but that can be in there too.
Yeah, I mean, I can't exactly think of another airplane. Maybe you get like Arnold Schwarzenegger screaming
Snakes
"Get
on
to
a
the
plane.
chopper." Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking of who would be the best like airplane pilot to fly it.
Well, isn't
Uh,
there's Air Force One's a movie too with Harrison Ford?
well,
Can
I
do
was
that.
saying let's just switch it up and just have Trevor from GTA fly the plane.
Oh,
Let's just change it up. Get a fake character in there, add some spice to the mix.
yeah.
Yeah, but okay. I think that's enough of the pre-show. Yeah.
I'd say so.
How's the plane back? Plane back with the boys or go separate ways?
We almost quite literally were bussing with the boys. That's going to be a story for next episode, but let's just say I was cold, wet, hungry, dehydrated. The engine on the plane looked like it was going to fall off when I was boarding, and the plane was delayed 5 hours. There's a whole different part of this where we showed up to a mall and there was an active shooter at the mall, but we're gonna save that for the next episode. That's a teaser for next pre-show.
Stay tuned, folks. I don't even know that one, but okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up quite eventful pre-show at the end there. Wow, took a turn there, but okay, all right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 182. Maybe have a little MLB update today. Got the college football playoff preview. We'll see if we'll be recap. We'll see if at minimum we'll recap the Alabama game, the Michigan game. We'll record after
next
one.
week. Yeah.
For next Monday.
We actually have an ability. The reason why this is delayed, like I said, is I was working all day yesterday. Put a hand up. You can talk to the NCAA if you're upset that we had to delay this. All right, that's on them.
Yeah,
all right.
Blame the NC2A, as my dad likes to call them. And then we have the 10-game morning slate NFL preview. It's going to be the best 3.5 hour stretch of NFL football of the entire season. We got 10 games going on at the same time this Sunday. It's going to be nuts. I'm not sure if you have quite dove into them, but I would say there's a healthy amount of those games. Some notable 10 a.m. game, well, 10 a.m. my time, but 1 p.m. games, some pretty notable ones. So, yeah, we'll get into that one. But
yeah, there are a couple notables in here.
Yeah, like Dolphins Ravens. How is that not Sunday night football? Like,
I do love the fact that now instead of a Monday night game, we're picking up Saturday. So does that mean the Manning cast is on Saturday now?
I think what they're doing is they don't want to compete with the playoff on Monday, which good on the NFL. Because
that is why,
it is a symbiotic relationship there,
Yeah.
So college, it's a good thing that college does well for the NFL long term. But okay, all right. The one MLB rumor we've heard. So first things first, what's been reported is that probably not going to be any more signings until the new year in the MLB, and even then, like
Yeah, no,
it
the
could drag out till
Yamamoto
February,
the
So
Yamamoto signing
that
was
was
kind
kind of
of
like the
like,
last major
yeah,
domino.
it was supposed to be pushed to be before Christmas, but but more so before New Year's. Like that was kind of like that signing window deadline.
Yeah, and to be honest, when it is the big guys, they'll usually sign like right when free agency opens. But
Yeah, because
the other
they have been
big
talking
names
to
left
teams for
are
like weeks,
yeah. Well, Otani's arguably been talking to the Dodgers
for
since
years, for
yeah.
years.
I'm talking this specific contract since I would say like July of 2021.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would say for this next free agents, like Cody Bellinger is one of the biggest names left, and it seems that I think it's a Yankee. No, not Yankees.
Cubs and us.
Yeah,
It's going
Cubs
back
and
to
the
the Cubs
Dodgers.
and the
Yeah,
Dodgers.
he's going back to the Cubs.
Which I mean, all I'm saying, and I mean,
Go Cody.
I've said this multiple
Go
times
Cubs
though,
go. Him
is
and Pete Crow Armstrong gonna be a dirty duo.
I've said this multiple times though, how much I would like to have Cody back on the team, and
I
then
think
moving
he
people
actually might
around.
be worth like
No,
100.
I saw that contract. I don't think it can happen, but I would love to see him on the team. Like that would be most ideal for me.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Accidentally started playing with my AirPods. And yeah,
Oh, so we just
connected.
heard none of that. Nice,
No,
nice.
no, no. But I lip read. I got
Okay,
the gist of it.
this is about to be a bad lip reading episode, is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
But the big name trade going around right now in Dodger fantasy land, which would be exhilarating, but like not exactly necessary, but would just be exhilarating, is Emmanuel Clase and Shane Bieber. Now, Bieber's a 1 year guy who's also just been like declining, even though he's like 27. So, like, that's not like a long term answer there, but him over Sheehan, yes. He honestly might even be the 5 starter behind Bobby, like dead
He
ass.
would be
So,
5. Bobby
maybe
will
we'll
at
see. But
worst be 4.
Clase, that's the name. And I think he would be on ARB for another 3 years until he gets free agency.
So
So that's like the bigger
the other thing that I know you were talking about,
if
a
happens.
big name you were talking about was Josh Hader. His contract specs have kind of come out for what he's looking for, and I don't think that it's remotely close to being in the Dodgers budget. I don't think that we can afford him.
Well, there's no such thing as a budget to the Dodgers organization,
True,
as we've
true.
learned. But I think the Clase thing, yeah, no, like financially makes more sense, and he'll be like, I don't know, he'll be on like a $3 million
Is
contract.
Evan Phillips is still on ARB for the next couple of seasons as well, right?
Yeah, and he's getting paid like $3 million.
Yeah. So I mean that works out too.
Ransom.
Because then you're kind of fixing that setup man position issue that we have had in the past.
Yeah, I guess. Like I would say the one thing though is that Clase is a righty, Hader's the lefty, and Hader's like there was 100. There's not many 100-mile-an-hour lefties out there, so like there is, I guess, more scarcity in the left-handed reliever position, which makes Hader more valuable. But like Clase still lights out, so yeah, if we could get him for cheaper than like Michael Bush, see you later, Sonny. Like he's like 26. We're not going to call him up. We might as well just trade him while there's like something to get in return. So yeah, that's a little MLB update though that I have. I feel like today's a bit more of a college football playoff day, an NFL day.
It is
a little
a
more football for
very
today.
very big CFB day. We also have a lot of. I mean, the Vikings have a decent amount of news as well. So it's going to be a day. It's going to be a football day, which is what this podcast is
bizarre
made for.
timing too with that Vikings injury. But okay, let's start off with the college football playoff preview. First things first, want to shout out. This is all I gotta say. It's officially Miller time, but the reason why it's officially Miller time is that he cashed his over on his passing touchdown prop on the third drive of the game.
So real quick, all right, we're gonna
third drive of the game.
We're making this statement first before anybody interjects. Both Grant and I are legally of age to drink. All right, Grant, you want to tell your little story while you were watching?
Well, I mean, I really thought for a second that I may have jinxed the whole thing. I thought for a second. So, went out with a couple of boys. And for those who don't know, Miller like grew up near us, like actually went to my high school technically.
We also have
Yeah.
a an abandoned Miller episode.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Never mind. But like we all like know Miller, so we went to go watch together, and we went out to a bar, and of course, strictly Miller Lite the whole time. That was the only thing we were drinking. Anything else would ruin the vibes. It was strictly vibes, and I was just educating some of my boys on the fact that when you are emotionally invested in a sports game, regardless whether you are at the stadium or not, you can impact the outcome of the game. And I'm looking around the room. Every single time one of my boys wanted to go take a piss or like quickly like check their phone real quick, bad stuff would happen. And I was like, you see, guys, you gotta stay locked in. Phones down, glued to the screen, and Miller's only. Okay. Those are the 3 rules last night. Anytime one of those rules were broken, shit hit the fan. But shit really, really hit the fan when the whole bar ran out of Miller Lite. That's when we had a major problem. That's when there was a major problem. The second that happened, I shit you not, Miller threw that interception on the goal line. I'm not even kidding. I cannot make this up. Literally the second they ran out of Miller Lite, I was like, this can't be happening. This cannot be happening. Like, it is happening. It just happened. There is no more Miller Lite in the bar. But yeah, I would have blamed myself.
So
I would have
how
never.
was this?
We were
was this
considering
problem
moving
solved?
bars.
Was the
very
problem
quickly.
solved? Because my
No.
suggestion was you switch to Miller High Life. It's still a Miller brand product, but
Not there.
oh,
All they had
So-
was Miller Lite.
what was
Gone.
what was your alternate, or did you just stop drinking? You were just like, if it's not Miller, it can't be anything.
I think we then switched the cheapest happy hour option. But but yeah. Let's just say I was gonna take full blame for that, but I think he set the USC record. I think he was
He
one
set
touchdown
the-
away from the Pac-12 record.
He set the bull, the L, whatever the DirecTV bull record as well.
Oh yeah, the Holiday Bowl record.
the Holiday
but
Bowl. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. We're all sitting there. We're all like, what the hell? What is going on? He was dicing up to true freshman too.
Hey,
Oh my God.
we've been Miller Truth.
It was hilarious.
We've been Miller Truthers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, but I like after the game, they asked Lincoln Riley about like quarterback next season, and I think he,
Hey,
did
can we
a
just
little
can we
giggle.
just say that? Can we ask this real quick? Was Malachi Nelson scared of Miller, and that's why he left?
Well, I think we know the answer. I think we
I
might
think
have a theory
yes.
now.
I think it's yes.
I think we might have a theory now.
He saw Miller that first practice after Caleb opted out, and he was like, "Oh fuck this! There's no shot here."
Yeah, I mean, I was seeing some memes too. People like Caleb Williams watching his draft stock fall.
Just-
like now, is he going to be
No,
called
no,
a Lincoln Riley
he's
system
actually
quarterback?
He actually should be cheering that his draft stock's falling, because right now he's supposed to go to the Bears. Like, I would be all for just fuck.
Oh yeah, and you know what? He even said it himself that he wants first ownership in whatever team drafts him. That's number 1, and number 2, he'll pull an Arch Manning and just Chargers his way out of the franchise. So okay, college football playoff preview. Okay, games will be on Monday. This is coming out on Friday, but you know what? If anything, that's actually slightly better that we're coming out
better.
later.
Yeah.
So okay, well, you know what? We'll start off with the less cool one, Texas, Washington, the less cool one. Texas 4-point favorites. Actually, you know what? Let's just first do overall playoff and natty predictions. Let's just start off with that, and then we'll look at the games. Everett,
Okay.
why don't you lead the charge for us? Give us the full natty prediction.
All right, so I gotta just double check my matchups and everything here, because I've been so dialed
Michigan
in with
will be playing Alabama,
and
Texas
Washington,
will be
Texas.
playing
I've been so
Washington.
dialed in with Tulane,
and then the
football,
winners of those
I've got-
games.
Yeah,
will
no,
play
I
each
got
other.
that. I got that bit. I had to just double check like the side. Okay, whatever.
It's like, and then
First
there
of
will
all,
be a best of 3 round robin with 5 teams on the field.
it's like, what the fuck?
Like this new era college football.
All
Get
right,
used
look,
to it.
I have been very low on
Fox
Washington.
needed it for the ratings.
I've been very low on Washington for this back half of the season, and I'm really not changing. I know they beat Oregon, and that's kind of a prove it game, but
I would say so. Yeah.
I
Tough to beat a team twice.
it is very tough to beat a team twice. But assuming Texas is healthy, I'm gonna take Texas here over Washington. I'd say Texas wins that. Michigan wins that game versus Bama, although I think it's gonna be a very close game. And then
Well, before we get to your natty pick, let's actually start with this. Now, I have no record of this. I am just going off of memory. I feel like at least in one of the playoff games every year, at least one of them is an absolute fucking blowout. Game's over by the first quarter. Are we going to assume that's going to be Texas Washington? Are we going to assume that's going to be the one?
I hope if that stays the route, yeah, I'm gonna say Texas. Washington.
Like I'm just pulling shit out.
But
of my ass. I don't actually have a record.
This is
like last year.
I do think that this year, like, well, and then the Natty was the blowout game.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly do think
at least one
this year is the best chance to have all of them be close games.
Yeah, I would actually agree too. It's probably the closest playoff spread.
I think that there's a decent chance that Bama's actually in the lead going into like the final minute or two in that game, and then Michigan steals a win there. I think Texas is just going to be in control that whole game. And I'm going to be honest. I think Texas is back. I got to do it.
Oh my God. Wow. Everett saying it. Okay. All right.
Hey, it's that, or do you want me to say Michigan?
You guys are writing.
Or do you want me to say Michigan's winning the Natty? So
no. You can write
Texas.
Is back. I essentially have the complete opposite of you. I think Alabama is going to beat Washington in the national championship game.
Okay.
Literally, you could say the exact opposite because I'm picking.
Well, so here's the thing. Let me just. This is the way I'm thinking about it right now. I think. Right now, Bama, like I said, is going to be in control of that game going into the final couple minutes of the fourth quarter. Michigan's going to have a little rally, take the lead, win that game. I don't know if you're kind of getting the same vibe, just minus the comeback kind of fails deal, or you think that Bama's going to run away with it.
Well, in my opinion, I don't think Michigan's capable of coming back against a team. I think Michigan actually is more likely not to have the lead against Alabama in the fourth.
You think
quarter,
they just come out and Bama just comes out and just?
I think Bama's capable of coming back. I don't think Michigan is.
Okay. The other thing that just with Washington,
I would say, yeah, Michigan. It's literally what I think of the Ravens 3 years ago.
I'm just nervous because to me, Washington, like the best offense Washington played was Oregon. I think this Texas offense is, I could say better than the Oregon offense.
Maybe if they saw their running back.
Yeah, that is one problem. Ewers is not as good as Bo Nix this season, not by a mile, but outside of that, I mean, the overall like specialist players around him, I would say, are better. But if Ewers comes out and plays out
better than Odunze.
No. I'm saying then Oregon.
Oh. Texas is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my comparison. I'm just going off the latest game. Odunze is better. Let's solidify that.
I think Odunze is the second best receiver in college football.
I would say that is a fair argument to make. But I think that overall, Texas might have had a little bit more of a good kind of track, a good setup going into this game than compared to Washington. Washington has barely snuck by a couple of these teams, either good or bad. I mean, and I think it's going to kind of catch up.
So.
I think it's going to catch up.
I mean, like, though, for this,
let's just
this
real
seems
quick.
Like a game where everyone's overlooking Washington.
I mean,
in
everybody
my
was over.
opinion.
I think everybody. That's the thing with Washington, though. Everybody was overlooking them with the Oregon game too, and they kind of used that, and they're going to be using it again
Well,
here.
I did too. I mean, they were
No, I know,
like,
and that's why.
Jesus,
That's why you
Oregon was
like.
9.5 point favorites. I
That's
was
why
like,
you like
holy
them now.
fuck,
That's why you like
Oregon.
them now. But I'm gonna stick with the same argument I had for that Oregon matchup, and I'm still applying it to this game.
I'm
Washington.
also just not that sold on Texas personally.
I'm not sold on either team. I'm just a little bit more sold on Texas than I am Washington. And maybe I have a bias versus Washington given some other situations going on there. But
What did Washington do to you?
they poached our AD, and that set off a whole chain of events where we lost. Anyways, but just looking at these last 4 or 5 games, beat Oregon by 3 last second, beat Washington State by 3, beat Oregon State by 2 on a comeback, Utah by 1 score, beat USC by 10, and then we get close games. I'm still kind of scarred by that Arizona State game too. So I just don't know what Washington I'm going to see. That's the thing. If they come out flat in this game and Texas starts rolling, the game's over.
Well, I would say I just feel like Washington has kind of taken the foot off the gas post Oregon and pre Oregon, which I feel like you can't necessarily blame them. Like that first Oregon game, like was their game of the year. They expected USC to be a big game. USC sucked ass, so that wasn't a big game. But once again, you do bring up a good point. It is kind of hard to sustain that drive to get up for these. Well, it is the playoff game. I'd hope you're getting up for this one. But hey, we'll see. I like Washington though. But for Bama, Michigan, well, actually, real quick for Texas, Washington, I think Texas does have a better defense than Washington, but
I don't know how their
Washington's
secondary
defense,
though.
they play in spurts. It's very weird. Like they can show up at times, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where has this been?
Now, if
where was this in like the first
if
quarter?
Jonathan Brooks was in this game though, Texas is solidified winning the game, and it's not as much of a toss up.
Maybe like I just think like Jonathan Brooks, I think, is one of the best backs in the country, and we hate injuries. I think though, Washington can just move the ball downfield way better than Texas can.
Downfield, yeah. But that's their whole thing is it's they get deep shots and they get that like yards that way. Like
which I think they're gonna get.
I'm assuming they're gonna get a couple. Like that's just how their offense works. But I do think though that
God, I'm mucking this water bottle down.
I already finished mine. Mine's gone.
Oh wow, little freeze right there when you were explaining the water bottle. I was like, the fuck's going on? But
yeah, okay, no, I just had to really emphasize the water bottle. But I mean, if you can prevent that a little bit more, like it's going to be harder for them to move the ball. If you make them try and do those short passes instead and take away the over the top, I mean, that's a huge element of Washington's game. If you stop that, that's going to be pretty detrimental to the offense.
Well, we'll see if Texas can be the only team that's done it thus far this season. I'd probably bet against that. But yeah, Texas Washington, that one, to be honest, that was
I will say though,
in my opinion.
Arizona State did do a good job about preventing the deep ball, and that's why that game came down to 1 score and was 7-15. So
I mean, this is just me, and I'm giving the kids the benefit of the doubt here, but that was coming off the Oregon win. I don't think Michael Penix was sober for a minute that whole week.
So I know there's been a little bit more time going in, but I mean, this is also coming off an Oregon win. Just saying. This is coming off an Oregon win too.
But that was a month ago. But this is now in the playoff. Yeah. That was for Arizona State.
A little bit different. I mean, just a little bit different. A little bit different.
Prep week.
So hold on. Let's think about this then. You have 1 week between this game and the Natty. Let's say Washington wins this. Same thing happens.
I think it's like 10 days or like 2 weeks.
Nope, Natty's on the 8th. This is on the 1st. Yep. Natty's on the 8th.
But I feel like
1 week of prep.
Quick turnaround.
1 week of prep. So, could we see a similar thing happening?
I don't really think it necessarily like gives an advantage to either anyone necessarily.
Well, Bama and Michigan have been there before.
Like, are you saying like
I was just making an analogy
what to
to
the
you.
Natty?
They've been in the Natty, but I was more so making an analogy with how you were like, oh, Washington won this big game, got really
Michigan's never
drunk.
been to the Natty.
I was I'm making an analogy. Like I was saying been there before, like they've been in playoff situations.
No, okay,
before.
okay.
But I was making an analogy to saying how you were like, oh, Washington won this big game versus Oregon, then Michael Penix was drunk the entire week, like the prep wasn't there, and then they almost lost that game. I was making an analogy with how this is a huge game. They're going into the Natty. It's 1 week of prep. That's what I was doing.
Well,
it seems to have not.
But the point is, it's Arizona
to
State and the Natty. Like,
no, I understand. Okay, it was. Okay, I was just
forget it. Wash it. But okay, Alabama, Michigan, that one. I like that. If Michigan were to win this game, like they're gonna have to just be in control. JJ can't be JJ McCarthy like TCU last year. God no. But like, if JJ played like he did against Ohio State, I still don't.
You think
that's what Michigan needs to happen to win? I don't think that guarantees a Michigan.
Do you think
win.
that Blake Corum being healthy this year will make a difference compared to last year?
Difference. Their offensive line isn't as good as last year. Zach Zinter is also out for this game. He's their best interior lineman. But Michigan, their O-line isn't as good as last year. Like, they just aren't. They're still probably the best O-line in the country. But like last year, Corum averaged like fucking 7 yards on the ground, not because of Blake Corum, because his offensive line. Blake Corum's not the reason.
No, you have been very adamant about the fact that Blake Corum is extremely overrated. Back,
yeah, but whatever. No, Blake Corum literally has zero influence over this pick. I'm like, damn, he only has 1,000 rushing yards this year, dude. Yeah, come on, Blake. We could do better than that. The more so thing I'm looking at is Jalen Milroe down the stretch. What Tommy Rees has done this year. I mean, I was biggest Tommy Rees hater of all time last year. He was the Notre Dame OC last year. There were the clips of him chewing out their quarterback last year.
Drew Pine.
It's not was it Jack Cohn? No.
It was Drew Pine.
Other guy.
Drew Pine.
Drew Pine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Drew Pine, who is now done with football.
Or he's in the port. He retired.
He's just going back to Notre Dame to finish out his degree. Done with football. But
ironic that Notre Dame's quarterbacks both are now headed back to Notre Dame to do different things other than football.
Yep. Tyler Buckner's back. Yeah. Shout out Marcus Freeman. Go Irish. But yeah, I was the biggest Tommy Rees hater ever. When he got hired as Alabama's OC going the season, I was like, oh my fucking God, Nick Saban has lost it. He's done. He's done. Nick's over. Then they lost to Texas week 2. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, end the program. Bama's dead. I said Texas is back. I literally said that, which still to be determined. To be determined. The verdict is still awaiting. You did say it. But Tommy Rees turned it the fuck around. Jalen Milroe now, they're just like, wait, what does Jalen Milroe do best? Oh, that's right. Run the ball. Why don't we have him do that? Oh shit. That's a better idea than what we were doing before. So the Alabama offense just moves a little bit better now. That Tommy Rees is like, let me have my guys do what they're probably going to be good at. Good place to start. I think that was.
Or if you're Bill O'Brien, he's a wide receiver. So,
oh yeah, that just came out today too.
Why does it not surprise me? Do you think Bill O'Brien told Deshaun Watson, like, hey, you might be a better wide receiver than a quarterback? When he was on the Texans, he just sees any athletic quarterback.
I could see that.
Because don't forget,
I think it's very funny that Bill O'Brien gets Braxton Miller converted quarterback to receiver.
Don't forget though.
You know what? I think you can play corner. Let's move you to defense now.
Don't forget though. Every like athletic quarter, like he's the OC for the Patriots right now. Had Malik Cunningham. It was also like, hey Malik, maybe you play some wide receiver for us. Because remember, that came out too. So it's just any athletic quarterback he's ever got. It's just like, I don't know what to do with you. Like
Greg Ward, the other one on the Eagles. I mean, it is very funny that he was like, at one point, like the Eagles wide receiver one.
Jerick McKinnon was a quarterback in college.
Weeks. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That adds a dynamic to the offense.
Jacoby Myers
was No, not Jarvis Landry. They just let him throw a lot for
Yeah,
some
yeah.
reason. Yeah.
You talking about Mohamed Sanu?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Sanu's got a strap. Like
Oh
I think he
yeah,
actually might have a perfect career passer rating.
I think he
Like,
does.
yeah, like I think he's like a career 6 for 6, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns.
No, I
Like
legitimately think he.
hilarious numbers.
No, yeah, I think
And
he is perfect.
all of the catches are to Julio.
Hey, you know what? You know what?
Every single one.
If you're a team this year who needs a quarterback, like your starting QB
Mohamed
got hurt,
Sanu or
bring up
Julian
Mohamed
Edelman
Sanu. Get him in there.
or Edelman. Call one of them up, not Mac Jones. But okay, let's yeah, Alabama, Michigan. Also, the other thing, Alabama on defense, Dallas Turner, I think is going to be the big game wrecker. Michigan, their tackles are not phenomenal. Now, it's a too bad Ohio State didn't have the DNs to pressure JJ, but Dallas Turner can. So if you go back and watch the Michigan Penn State game when Michigan ran the ball like 35 straight, I'm exaggerating. They ran the ball a lot in that game. Okay. I think they ran every single play in the second half. Now, a lot of people are like, smash mouth football, run it down their throat. Penn State can't stop us. Okay, sure. But the reason, in my opinion, why Michigan just completely abandoned the pass is that their right tackle is getting eaten fucking alive. Okay. He literally could not hang. Okay. JJ was getting slaughtered back there. Like little piggies out on the farm. Okay. So Dallas Turner might eat JJ alive on play action. Like they're going to need to double team Dallas Turner the entire game, which they could do. Trust me, I've seen Michigan whip out a mean triple team for Chase Young back in 2019. I know they're capable of doing it, but if you divert all the resources there, Alabama's got other pass rushers. I think they're the only team in college football with 3 pass rushers with over 8 sacks. So they have boys that can get it done. So you can double team. You can double team Dallas Turner, which I suggest. I suggest you do that, but you're going to leave other guys one-on-one. So there's going to have to be like max protection. You're going to need some hero plays out of Roman Wilson if he's playing, and like Cornelius Johnson. So they're going to need some hero plays, and Colston Loveland. Like that was the X factor player in my opinion. I love the fact that
I legitimately have only ever heard of Roman Wilson and none of the other wide receivers on Michigan.
Yeah, because they're not very great. They're really good against Ohio State though. But okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be Bama, Washington, and if that happens, then I do think that will be a rout and not a great game, and then everyone will be like, "Fuck college football."
You think who do you think blows out who then?
Oh, Bama routs Washington if they matched up.
Do you think Washington is more so like this year's not charity like case team, but more so like
I would just say not like charity case.
Yeah,
like
I don't know what the word would be. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I would say just on paper the weakest team because their defense. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I would honestly compare them to like Kyler Murray's Oklahoma team that made it, where like they, in my opinion, they have the best offense right now in the playoff field and the worst defense in the playoff field.
What about Jalen? Jalen Hurts' Oklahoma team was kind of close to that too.
They could end up being more like that. We'll see how shit this Washington defense is.
I can see that.
But that's why the boomer bust team, if that makes sense.
I just think that this is Quentin Ewers like moment right now. We saw him in the Red River rival. Oh my God, Red River rivalry.
Red River shootout. Red River shootout.
That works.
Go back to the basics.
And he obviously balled out then, and since then he's been hurt. We haven't seen necessarily the same level of play, even though it's been good. This is going to be his why I deserve to be the best quarterback in the class next year for the draft. This is that game.
Yeah, I mean, he has a chance here to make a big name for himself. We'll see, but I think actually all these quarterbacks are all pretty highly touted. Milroe, JJ,
no, they are,
and Penix. So
I've got my knocks on Penix for the draft.
Matchup.
We're gonna save that for another day. But
better than past matchups.
Yes. I fully.
Yes, last year was pretty.
Max Duggan and
Stetson. Yeah, they bring it down.
And JJ McCarthy and Stetson.
Last year, JJ. Nah, yeah, they bring it down. All right.
Hey,
okay.
you know what? You at least had CJ though. He got CJ.
Yeah, well,
got one of them.
I did not throw him in the bad list because I know he's the fucking star out of all of them. So there's nothing, no shit to. And I mean, Georgia CJ Stroud, arguably the greatest college football quarterback ever.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now that's the NFL quarterback we're seeing right now.
Georgia's CJ Stroud's built different. But yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking on playoff preview. Let's do a hypothetical. Like if Michigan matched up against Washington, I think they would win. But I think that would actually be pretty difficult because Washington can just outscore Michigan at a higher rate. Michigan, Texas, I think that'd just be a fucking great football game. Like I'd just be hyped on that. Like just big brands. Other than Washington, all major brands here.
I mean, even if it's Texas, Bama, like Texas, Bama, and the
that rematch would be fire.
Oh my lord!
And it's a whole different Alabama team now. It's a different Texas team now. So it would be very exciting.
Sark versus Saban
going up against Saban, who Saban literally revived Sark's career.
It's a running it back.
Sark got boozed up at that USC banquet. Ooh, bad luck. Yeah, that's what we're kind of thinking on college football there. Unless you got anything else, you got a transfer portal update ever? I know you've been getting in the weeds of the transfer portal. So
no, I need a little bit of time. I just need a little bit of time regarding college football and all my stuff for that right now.
Okay. But all right, NFL.
Okay, so obviously we've got games to talk about here. We're gonna talk about some stuff before we get into that mix. I've got a couple fun facts for us on this lovely day.
We had this plan today.
Yeah, the unnamed intern didn't loop you in this one for a reason.
I did not get the agenda today.
All kind of Vikings related, but in general, just purple team related. If you're gonna get my drift here. First of all, we'll address this. You brought it up at the start of the episode. TJ Hawkinson's injury. All right. Sucks. ACL, MCL might be out through the start of next season. I just want to say in general, for him.
Did you hear the spooky detail?
I'm about to bring it up.
Okay.
I'm about to bring it up. Sucks for him. And I just want to props to him because he got up and started walking like it was nothing. I didn't even realize it was a bad injury until I saw on Twitter. They're like, yeah, severe knee injury. I was like, I just saw him walk off the field. But TJ Hawkinson tore his ACL and MCL on the exact same day that Adrian Peterson did, 12 years to the day. Therefore, by the transitive property, TJ Hawkinson is winning the MVP next year.
MVP.
So
yeah.
Now it gets real
MVP
spooky if we hear in 2 months that TJ Hawkinson is like already halfway done with rehab. Then it gets real spooky.
Yeah. Then we got to look things up. I have just heard rumors that Amari Cooper has just been ruled out for this Thursday night football game, which, I mean, I guess happened last night for those listening right now. We are recording this on Thursday.
So yeah, let's stipulate that we are recording this before the game takes place. All right, so all of our game picks are not going to be influenced here. Probably should have clarified that one.
Yeah, and I mean, we were both picking the Browns anyway, so I mean, it didn't matter. Like, come on.
Now
right?
The other thing. Yes,
right?
yes,
okay.
yeah. Here's the other thing, and I brought this up.
Starts out with the Jets. All right, like, Nathaniel, go for it, Hackett.
Hey, just want to shout out Joe Flacco revenge game. It's a Joe Flacco revenge game.
Oh my God, it is. Holy shit. I totally wiped that 2-year stint out of my brain for Flack. But yeah.
Okay, so first thing, I've spoken about this multiple times. I spoke about it last year. No team has ever lost to Kirk Cousins and played in the Super Bowl in the same season. The 49ers
and just played in the Super Bowl, not even
Super Bowl. Oh, not even played. The 49ers lost to the Vikings and Kirk Cousins this season. Got fucking routed by the Ravens. Should this Kirk Cousins curse stand, the 49ers will not be in the Super
We'll
Bowl
wait and
this
find
year.
out.
We'll wait and find out, but I'm saying it now.
It is weird to think the Super Bowl is like 5 weeks away.
Here's the other
just a
thing.
little weird to think.
Here's the other thing. The team in this is the 49ers.
It's lighting right now on my neck.
Yeah. The team in this is talking about is the 49ers.
So bad.
There is a 49ers curse this season. I don't know if you saw this. There's a 49ers curse. Every team that has beaten the 49ers has won, like, I think it was 17 points. Outside of the Ravens, who won by 19 because of a safety, which was a 2-point difference.
Mm-hmm.
All of those teams, the exact same point margin, everything, starting quarterback out for the season.
Is the point margin number
It's just every team.
Yeah, I didn't quite. I get. Yes, spooky. It's
when the 49ers have scored
Wild.
17 points. When the 49ers have scored 17 points and have lost, which is 3 of the 4 games. Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson out for the year. Vikings quarterback out for the year. Bengals quarterback out for the year. Ravens, only reason it wasn't 17 is because they got a safety. NFL fix was in. They didn't want Lamar out for the season. Just smart.
I like real quick before we get into the picks. I just want to say, first things first, rest in peace, the Brock Purdy MVP train. In the arms of an angels. Cue the song. It was wonderful while it lasted.
Yeah, I'm very happy we did not do an MVP ranking list last week. That would not have gone well given the timing in which it would have gone up. That would have been
that thing has been slaughtered into the dirt. Welcome to the Lamar Jackson MVP Super Bowl run. It is happening, folks.
I saw this again, but just remember the other season.
I can't even fathom the thought.
The other season, though, remember in the offseason, Lamar was open to talk to any team he wanted, as they could match the contract with the Ravens and sign him. And
Lamar
no team wanted to do it. No team wanted to do it, and look what's happening now. Speaking of quarterback drama, though, Russell Wilson.
Kids, that's what dreams are made of. Oh, yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah. He's going to get cut, apparently.
He's going to get
cut.
Allegedly, capital J journalism, allegedly get cut. But the team with the highest odds to land Russ next season, the Minnesota Vikings. I will personally go to Egan and burn that contract if we sign him over Kirk Cousins. If we're signing a quarterback,
that
sign
would
Russ
be
Wilson
interesting
over Kirk Cousins. Oh, burn it to the ground. The season's shocked. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, that would not be ideal. That would not be
that trade now will come into debate of worst trade ever. Let's just review this real quick. The Russ trade, right? Russell Wilson and a 2022 4th round, which was, I guess, some depth player that they drafted. The Broncos drafted for Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, Charles Cross, who's the 1st round pick, Boye Mafe, which is the 2nd round pick, Tyreek Smith, which was a 5th round pick, Devon Witherspoon.
Tyreek Smith from Ohio State.
Oh, it's Tyreek Smith? My bad. Mm-hmm. I'll put a finger up for that one. Devon Witherspoon, 1st overall pick this year, 1st round pick, and Derek Hall, who is a 2nd round pick this season. Very bad trade. I don't know if it's the worst trade ever because not all those guys have shown out yet, but
yeah,
not good.
Not great. Did not go the way as planned. And Drew Lock arguably is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah.
Arguably. I'm just talking out of my ass, but you at least ponder the question for a second.
No, yeah.
You don't have an instant answer, okay?
It takes a second to think about it. You really got to process.
Yeah, I would take Russ, but I think about it for a second.
Russ is actually having a very good year this year too. Which the funny part of all this, the funniest part, so they benched him, right?
Well, what's his buyout? 80?
So, you want to know the best part about all of this?
Like, how much cut is Sierra about to get?
Oh, it's bad. But the best part of all of this, they benched Russ with 2 weeks left to go of the season. They benched
And they're
him.
not eliminated.
They benched him. They benched him because he's owed $37 million if he plays the full season, if he starts every game. So they benched him because he did not want to renegotiate his injury clause so that it didn't hit against the cap. And they said, nope, fuck you, Russ. Benched his ass. He's like, all right, well, I don't want to be here. So
yeah, the only problem with that, Russ, is that nobody else wants you to be there either. So,
well, yes,
well, maybe the Vikings do. Maybe the Chargers pick him up. Like, fuck, anything's possible at this point.
No, but I mean, I do think
Herbert,
that
you're playing wide receiver.
I think that he's being a little bit underrated this season. I know people are shitting on him, and he hasn't been great, and he hasn't been OG Russ, but he has been good this year. He has been good. I will say that.
I think it's just been
I'd say good. I'd say compared to what we thought might be happening, he's been good.
True, but that bar is low.
It is low. He's been better than Geno. I would say he's
there will never be
Smith.
an old Russ, like that ship is gone.
It's unfortunate.
You'll only find that in a YouTube highlight compilation. Like, that thing is gone.
Oh, but what a time that was.
Oh, but what a great YouTube highlight.
What a great time that was. Oh my God.
Yeah. But okay. Time to announce the games now.
Yeah. All right. So Grant and I are now even on the season.
Both at 60.4%.
I believe so.
145, right?
Oh, you might be a game up on me. Hold on. I'm
at 145.95.
Okay. All right. We are even. We are even.
Yeah, both at 60.4%. That's the benchmark for average when you're picking money lines, in my opinion. So as long as we're both over 60%, we can just continue doing this show. So yeah.
So last 2 weeks of the season, down the stretch, we are tied.
Yeah, I mean, once we go on, if we ever go under 60%, then we have to start putting like warning signs before we give out the picks. Like, do not don't consider them.
Don't think about talking to listening to us. This is also more in like all fun and games, but nonetheless.
No, this is serious shit.
It is serious. This is like, we have like meetings every week about this. Like, it's important.
We lose sleep over this.
Here we go. Thursday night, starting here in an hour when we're recording this. It's just a little time check for you. It is currently 6:10 CDT right now. Just so you guys know, all right? 6.
We're both picking the Browns anyway.
6:11.
So
all right.
It doesn't matter.
Jets versus Browns Saturday. Lions at Cowboys Sunday. Starting in the afternoon, 12 o'clock. Sunday night. Is what I have listed here. But starting with the afternoon slate, we have Patriots, Bills, Falcons, Bears, Raiders, Colts, Rams, Giants, Cardinals, Eagles, Saints, Bucks, 49ers, Commanders, Panthers, Jaguars, Dolphins, Ravens, Titans, Texans.
Pause. Holy fuck.
Games.
All right. 10 games at the same time. That's going to be the most nuts witching hour of all time.
The Opta screen.
That stretch of like 12 to 1. Well, that's my time.
3 o'clock Central.
3 to 4. Oh my God. It's going to be nuts.
3 o'clock games. Starting with 3:05, Steelers, Seahawks. Then 3:25, Chargers, Broncos, and Bengals, Chiefs. Night game.
What networks are those on to? No, I'm kidding.
Fox, CBS, and CBS. We got 2 CBS games. And then
I'll be getting Chargers, Broncos. What a shame.
Sunday night, game of the week. Not really, but game of the week. Packers at Vikings. A spot in the playoffs on the line, and for second place in the division. Both teams 7 and 8. Vikings 2-5 at home. Packers 3-5 away. 7:20 p.m. on NBC. Jaren Hall will be starting for the Vikings.
And here's a guy, Jaren Hall.
Now here's a guy. Okay, here are my picks.
All right, picks.
Here are my picks. Browns, Lions, Bills, Bears, Colts, Rams, Eagles, Bucks, Niners, Jags. I'm going to come back to that Dolphins-Ravens game because I'm still thinking about it.
Okay,
Texans.
okay.
It's going to come out before you say your games.
Yeah,
I just got to give me a second.
Whoa,
Just give me a second. I'm still
Changing
really
the rules
contemplating it.
up. Okay.
Texans, Seahawks, Chargers, Chiefs, Vikings. Fuck it. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the cold weather Dolphins.
I need to call an ambulance why you picked the Chargers this week. I don't know why you did it.
Well,
I don't know
it's
why.
Jarrett Stidham starting for the Broncos.
It's Easton Stick. I think without Justin Herbert, Chargers are by far the worst team.
All right, you're the fan. I'll take Broncos. I'll trust you.
I mean, I'm just saying
you're legally required to
Easton
take the Chargers,
Stick
so arguably it might
so
be
bad.
I mean, since you're legally required to take the Chargers, I'll do us both a solid. I'm going to take the Broncos, and we're going to have a little bit of maybe that's the difference maker this year. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm okay with that because I have some different picks from you this week, so
okay.
I'm actually pretty happy how that went. So I got Browns, Cowboys, Bills, Bears, Raiders, Rams, Eagles, Bucks, Niners, Jags, Ravens, Texans, Seahawks, Chargers, Chiefs, and the Packers.
Okay.
You're back. Did you hear all those?
Yeah, I got all of it. Apparently my internet's unstable, which, you know what?
Yeah, you froze there for a quick second, and I thought you were just really disgusted by my Raiders. So
it did get a little unstable during that Raiders. I think that my internet just didn't like that. I think that it itself just was revolted by
a little too deep, a little too much pickup for. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I like the Cowboys, but at the same time, they did just get absolutely upheaved.
More so, my thought is, you know, the Lions could, in theory, finish as the 1 seed in the NFC. You know, that is on the tables.
No,
then I thought to myself, let's take it one step further. Can that happen though? No.
The Lions?
No. I mean, it can.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I think that,
but it's not possible. If you know what I'm saying.
We've talked about this last year. How the Lions are like, you know, you always cheer for them, even if they're beat. Like, yeah, they're the little brother of the NFC North, right? And I'm saying that, but
maybe the whole NFL.
I think
probably the whole NFL.
They get first rounded this year, no matter what round of the playoffs they play in. First round.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Sorry.
Just laying down the law. Like, and so if they're the 2 seed, they actually might end up getting the 7 seed, which
would be an
like
interdivision game.
Or the Packers. Yeah. Give me that team to win. But okay. Yeah, I kind of just feel like when there's certain teams where whenever they're hyped up, I like to fade them, which is kind of the Ravens this week, but the Dolphins are also slightly hyped up after last week. But Jalen
Waddle is not.
I can't read those vibes. I'm not as Waddle sucks. So I honestly, it might be better off for the Dolphins.
So I mean, my only thing is like that arguably is the hardest game to pick, and they're also the same record. This is for the 1 seed in the AFC North or in the AFC. Like this. Yeah,
well, if the Ravens win this game, they clinch the AFC. If the Dolphins win, they'd have the tiebreaker head to head.
Yeah, and they probably win. I believe so, and then. I think that I think whoever wins this clinches no matter what, because they'd have tiebreaker and they'd have the same record if one lost and one next week. But I have always been a fan of the Dolphins this season, and I know the Ravens are fantastic, but the Dolphins did finally prove that they can go up against a good team, and they beat the brakes off of the Cowboys last week. And I know that the Ravens are different.
Well, not necessarily beat the brakes.
No, not the brakes, but they made a showing of it. And I know Lamar Jackson's different. I don't think it's going to be a bad game from Lamar. I don't think it's going to be a bad, I just think that it's going to be a high scoring game. And because of that, I just think that the Dolphins might get a little last second edge.
I just think the Ravens defense has shown that
they're very good.
They can, They can
But
get some stuff.
I am very much on,
and it's in Baltimore.
It is in Baltimore. I have experience there. And Vic Fangio, I have high hopes for in his ability to play call this game for the defense for the Dolphins. Jalen Ramsey's back. I've got hopes for the Dolphins to put everything together versus this team. And if they win this game, I think that they're the favorites in the AFC, even if they're the one, no matter what, like they're the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl from the AFC side.
It begs the question, what is a bigger advantage? A Baltimore home field or Miami home field with one sideline burning and the other
Miami.
I'm not sure how hot it is in Miami right now, but
it's not. But also for the Dolphins to not have to go play in the freezing cold is very big.
That could more so just be it.
It's very big.
Yeah, but I just like the Ravens this week more so for the defense than anything that I'm looking at.
I'm a little nervous about Tua.
That was Raiders Colts. Colts. I don't know why. I'm just feeling Raiders country.
They've got vibes. They've got vibes. I mean, they did just beat the Chiefs without throwing not completing a pass after the first quarter. So I mean,
they're regardless, forget winning that game. Just the thought of not completing a pass for 3 quarters is just crazy. That is nuts.
That's a vibe. But you know what also is a vibe? Minshew Mania. Minshew Mania is a vibe in its own right.
He is slight vibes. I just feel like though these Raiders, not those Raiders,
these Raiders.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, look, this game too though, Raiders are 7-8, Colts are 8-7. This has playoff implications right now for
here, I actually got division pulled up. Colts are currently the 7 seed.
Texans are 8. So I mean, look, Colts and Texans are 7 and 8, right outside of the playoffs right now. Both teams in the same division. This is huge for the Colts, because if they lose this game, I believe they play Texans next week, right? I'm not entirely sure.
Let me take a gander.
I think they have an interdivision game next week. They could be out of the playoffs if they lose this game.
Yeah, they do.
Raiders essentially, they still aren't eliminated yet, but they are very far out of it right now with 2 weeks left.
In theory, the Raiders could win the division.
They could somehow.
They have not been eliminated.
They have not been division. They have not been eliminated on the sole basis that the Chiefs are 9-6.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Oh, how the great have fallen.
But I mean, Colts, Jaguars, and Texans all are tied right now for the AFC South.
Yeah, also just that AFC just looks so tough. Like, I'm happy this is the year the Chargers suck and we get a good pick, because
unfortunately,
if they made the playoffs, that's another first round bounce. Okay.
Unfortunately, the Vikings, the NFC just sucks. So
yeah. God. 4, 5, 6, 7 seeds. What the hell? Bucks 4 seed. Jinkies. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time.
I also kind of thinking Bengals over Chiefs this week, but shit.
You're all right.
No Jamar Chase, right?
I think so, but also like the
Chiefs aren't that bad.
They're not that bad, and they're not gonna lose to the Raiders and then to the Bengals in back-to-back week. Like, it's just not happening.
That's what I'd like.
Patrick Mahomes might actually shoot Kadarius Toney on sight if that happens. Or is Matt Nagy the OC now? It's gonna be Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's walking home.
Yeah. Probably.
So big week for the Water Boys. Big week for the NFL. Big week for the AFC South. It's gonna be a great slate of games. With that, I hope everybody has a happy New Year. Had a happy holiday. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Follow me and Grant on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at Waterway Pod. Follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett Station at Waterway Grant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So make sure to follow us there and subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss any new shorts or episodes. We post new TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday. So make sure to follow us there for great content. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.